and Kickboxing of 1989. And also we have Fredia to her friends Gibbs. Take it all in. It's time for our show to begin. Welcome people to our show. Welcome, let the time stories go. Hello everyone, I'm Sharon Friendly and welcome to Let's Get Friendly. Today we're going to be talking about boxing and kickboxing and women in the sport. And I'd like to introduce you to my guests today, Lilly Rodriguez. Hello and welcome. Lilly is the retired champion of the world in boxing and kickboxing of 1989. And also we have Fredia to her friends Gibbs, who is a student of Lily's, who is a kickboxer and a boxer as well. And hi and welcome to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for both being on my show, especially at this time of the day. Let's start with Lilly. Boxing and kickboxing, they're both tough sports, Lilly. What made you, as a woman, get started in?
Well, I started out when I was 6 years old. I started boxing. My mother was a wrestler. My father was a boxer. And I started little boxing, and that's how I grew with it. And then I started karate and became a black belt and jumped into boxing and kickboxing.
Where were you born that you would have someone teach you boxing at this early an age?
My father in Los Angeles.
Yes, in Los Angeles?
I was born in
A real Los Angelino.
Yeah. Yeah, every Thursday we'd be at the Olympic Auditorium boxing. I'd be boxing with all the little boys.
Now you started out boxing with the boys. You didn't look like a little girl, or
No,
your father?
No, everybody thought I was a little boy. I had just one of those little Buster Brown haircuts. I just fought every Thursday night with all the little boys, and they thought I was a boy.
And of course, when you're 6 and 7, that's fine. But did you get hurt at all?
Oh, I never lost a fight. I've never lost a boxing fight. They all thought I was a boy until after my father would tell me, this is my little girl Lydia, and that's my real name, Lydia, but I like to be called Lily, and there's no way she's not a girl, and I was a little girl.
You were that tough?
Well, I've never lost a boxing fight, or a fight. That was kind of like the way kids fight, playing the streets, jump rope, jacks, or whatever. That wasn't my thing. My thing was fighting, and that was like playing around.
When did you first get taken to the gym?
Let's see. I was 17 years old when my brother started teaching me karate.
No, but with your father teaching...
No, it was at home. It was at home when we started boxing. My dad taught me at home.
And did you just do it on the street, or did you go into a gymnasium? Did they have fights?
Wherever I fought in the streets, I fought. That was boxing. But we went into the auditorium every Thursday. That was kids' night.
My goodness. Now our other guest is Fredia to her friends Gibbs. And where are you from?
I am originally born and raised in Chester, Pennsylvania. I normally say Philadelphia because everyone is so familiar with Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia. But Chester, Pennsylvania is where I was born and raised.
And what brought you into the sport?
What brought me into the sport? Geez, it's a long story, but I'll make it short. I used to get beat up a lot as a young child.
Were you little?
When I was little, yeah. Chased home, etc. And my mom, she said, you know, this has to stop. And my uncle, he was a martial art instructor. He represented a school called A Quiet Storm. So he had suggested that I join the school. I joined the school, I became a member, and I started participating, etc. until I was about, from the age of 6 until I was about 10 years old. And then I started using it on the streets to defend myself, and I was pulled out of it. And then I went back when I was about 16 years old, 16 years for discipline reasons, you know.
They put you back into a fight program.
Karate. They put me back into karate for disciplinary reasons.
And you have decided now that you want to be a boxer and a kickboxer.
Yes, exactly.
Now, Lilly, to be a kickboxer, you have said that you should be a boxer first. Now, why?
Well, because In boxing, it teaches you your leverage of your feet work and your hand movements. If you don't know boxing, you can't kickbox, because in the boxing, it just teaches you right from how to hold your hands. You got the movements of the jab right across the foot, and your head movement from the waist up. Then you got to learn the feet work, so it keeps your balance. And then you put the legs into it, and you got that kickboxing.
Now, your brother is a famous name in the fight business. Your father was a famous name also?
No, he was an amateur boxer.
He was an amateur. I had an uncle who was an amateur boxer also way back when, back in Toronto. But your brother, what did your brother do?
Benny Urquidez, he was a world kickboxing champion. Myself and Benny and my husband, we traveled all over the world. We fought the best and beat the best, and that's why we're world kickboxing champion and boxing. I did a lot of boxing. Benny didn't do boxing, he's just a kickboxer. And he's the best, pound for pound.
And he still is
he
doing
still
it.
is the kick. He still is the
And
champion.
you retired in '89.
Yes.
How many years have you been doing it? How many years had you been doing it?
20 years in kickboxing and boxing. Well, boxing since I was 6.
Right. But sort of structured boxing, matches and things. Where did you do your matches, your boxing matches, and for how many years did you do that, and then how did you get into kickboxing?
Okay, karate, I started from
First.
karate, yes. I started at 17 years old on karate, became a black belt. I have 5 brothers, they're all black belts. Myself, I'm a black belt, so there's 6, and plus my husband's a black belt. And
Did you all fight together?
no, never. No, I was the boss. I'm older than them. I'm the boss of them. Sit down. But, we all taught each other. This is what we did all day long. I mean, it's like our lives. This is all we knew in life anyways. If anybody in the kickboxing martial arts or in the martial arts, they know all about us because we're very well known in the martial arts, Urquidez. I fought in Japan, I fought in Europe, I fought in Texas, mostly all over the world. I traveled, I did a lot of my fighting in Japan and Europe.
Did you fight for the money?
Oh yes, a professional kickboxer and boxing. Oh yeah.
Did you fight on a men's fight card?
I fought here in Los Angeles in a boxing card under Bobby Chacon and Alexis Aguel, under their card, and that was a champion card.
And did a lot of people come to their match because they knew that you were going to be there as well?
Well, in a little bit for the ladies' side, but Bobby and Alexis Aguel, they're like champions in boxing, so they pack up the place anyways. And when they see me fight that night, I was gonna fight like the following month after, and I packed up the place.
Really? Now, Fredia, you are going to be boxing this Saturday.
No, kickboxing.
Kickboxing
Yeah.
this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of protective gear do you have to wear?
What kind of protective gear? In the amateurs?
Show us, because you've got reproductive organs that you have to worry about. You have breasts that you have to worry about as a female.
Alrighty.
You've got your head to worry about.
Okay, these are like safety kicks when you're training. This is what it's used in the gym. But when you're fighting, you don't use the chins of your legs.
Your shins,
Okay?
yeah.
And this is where you kick. You kick calf, thigh, rib, head. Okay, this is where the parts you can kick. You can kick all in the center of your chest and the face and the front of the face. And this is to protect as you're training, so you don't get bruised up. So if you do get bruised up, it's into the fighting, in a real fight. So it helps protect your legs. And these boxing gloves, they're used when you box. These are 10 ounces, and this is what you use.
It seems light now, but I
Very
bet if
light.
you have to keep your hands up all the time, does it get heavy?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't get heavy.
Well, it takes time. It takes time in taking conditioning. And first, you got to run and work up to a conditioning. And anybody that starts into kickboxing or boxing, they got to start a mile a day. Every day you gotta run. If you can't do the mile, at least run half of the mile and walk the other half. And it builds up, and then you start training at the gym. We work up to about 2 hours. We'll start anybody brand new for about an hour, and you can do it. Okay, and then we have
The headgear.
And this is what she used for the hickory.
Yeah.
And in the gym, this is what she uses to protect her eyes so she doesn't get cut. Even likewise for the men too. And then I put Vaseline on her. She uses a mouthpiece.
Mm-hmm.
I like
so
little
she won't get
mouthpiece.
the teeth knocked down.
What it does is when you mouthpiece, it locks down the jaw. So it's not just moving around. So when you do get hit, you don't have a cracked jaw. And then these gloves right here. This is what she uses in the gym to get her arms in conditioning. And they're heavier than the red ones. And you have to have heavier gloves when you're training. So your hands, they feel in condition, and when you do put on the lighter gloves, they're much lighter and they don't feel anything. So you can move very quick on that.
So you say anybody can learn to do kickboxing and boxing?
Anybody.
Well, you sort of threw the gauntlet out at me, and I sort of threw it back at you. When Fredia came late, I said, I'll stand in. But I was very happy when she did come, especially after you see the rolling that we have, showing what they're doing. But you said that you could take me and you could whip me into shape, basically, so that I can not at the same level as Fredia is doing, because she is moving up so that she's going to start doing what, professional
in time
matches.
Yes.
But you would be able to condition me so that I will be doing some of the different moves and things that she does.
And just give me a month and I'll...
And then we'll have to come back and do another show, and I'll be where you were today. Oh, God. Well, okay, I'm up for that. We'll have to shake on it. Tell me something. When you were fighting, did you have to hate people to fight? Did you have to get a mad on so that you weren't afraid to hurt them? Because as a woman fighting another woman, wouldn't you be afraid to hurt them?
No, I have never been hurt in a fight. Maybe a little knot here and there, but I've never been cut or busted lip or a nose. I never hated anybody in the ring. I just worked myself up. I trained really hard, and this, to me, when I get in there, I'm a completely different person. And I go in there and I do my job. She wants to knock my head, I have to knock her head before she knocks mine. They do get mad at me, and they do cuss at me, and they do say a few words and to try to distract me, but as she's talking, I'm punching. But no, I don't, not at all. We become friends after the fights. Some of them don't like to, but no, I don't hate them at all. I don't hate them at all. I just go in trance and I work out.
When you first started, though, did you just do it because your father told you to do it?
But that was in my blood. My father was a boxer, my mom was a wrestler. I feel like it was kind of like, that's the way I knew how to play. That was my thing.
That was your play. What about you, Fredia? When you go in, do you have kind of a mad on just to help you get over being afraid to hurt somebody?
No, I just have that competitor's instinct. And when I get in that ring, like Sensei always said, I'm primarily focused on my opponent, and I know what their objective is when they enter that ring, and that is to win. And bottom line, that's my objective as well. And my primary objective is to annihilate them. So it's best woman wins. That's my attitude.
But you're proud to be in this sport also because there is so much more interest in women and in the contact sports now. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, definitely. What I have learned since I've been out here and representing the center is that so many people, or fitness, Muscle Fitness magazine, CBS, 2020, everyone's doing documentation on women kickboxing, women boxing, women fitness, and it's really a wonderful thing because the public needs to learn that there are self-defense techniques out there for women, and they should really get involved because you have women out there who are being stalked, women out there who are being abused by their spouses, women out there who are just being raped. And, they say that they don't have any there's nothing to help them out, but there are a lot of self-defense techniques out there and centers out there that are willing to help these women out, and it's up to the individual to go to these centers and, put your pride behind you and ask for help. It's only an hour a day, or perhaps an hour and a half, And it's great conditioning for you both mentally, physically, and spiritually. Definitely.
Now, Lily was telling me that she goes to different corporations and she teaches the art of, what did you say?
Well, they're called grab arts.
Grab arts. If somebody, or you teach women, tell what am I telling? You're the one that told me. Talk to us.
Okay. I go around and I teach in different corporations because a lot of the women, they call me, or the police station, they call me. Well, there's a group of women that wants to be taught how to defend themselves.
Against a gun, against a knife, against...
Gun attacks, from the front, from the back, knife attacks, and grab art attacks. Okay, from the throat, from behind, or a grab, a bear hug. And however they grab you, I teach you how to get out of it. And never to be in that victim, and never to be in that position when there's a gun. They don't live your life anymore. They get what they want from you, and then they shoot you. Or either they shoot you. But that's what I do. I teach women's self-defense, teach you how to defend yourself.
When you fight in front of an audience, both of you, does an audience turn you on? Does that get you all up?
Well, for me, when I was fighting, the audience didn't worry me. It was like the lights and stuff like that, and the noise. Not the people. But the minute I hit in that ring, that bell ring, I closed everybody. I see nobody, no nothing. It was just me and her.
What about you, Fredia?
The audience, they get my adrenaline flowing, but I've already gotten it flowing, so they don't really have that much of an impact on my performance in the ring. My focus is the person in front of me, and I'm like zoned out. I'm in a zone now, and it's like, okay, let's get busy.
Being a fighter, are your hands considered lethal weapons? Lily?
Well, in a sense, because the commission, the state commission, they know that I've been registered. They know that I'm a fighter. And it's not like you go to the police station and get registered, nothing like that. It's just they know who you are already. So if I do hurt somebody, I'm in for a lot of trouble, but I don't do that at all.
Well, no, you certainly don't want to.
Yeah.
Now, you teach children.
Yes.
What is your youngest student, and what age is your eldest student?
Okay, in the martial arts, we have from 5 years old on up. And then for the kickboxing, I take them 9, 10. And they have to want it, though. They have to be a little bit on the fast side. If they're not, then I have to take time as privates. If they want it, they can have it.
Now, what about your eldest?
She is about 79 or 78. This lady is very tough. She's a mountain climber, and she's taking full contact just so she can protect herself. And get her in good shape, too.
Now, have you fought with her? Have you sparred with her?
No, I haven't. No.
But you know who
I have an idea.
Who she is.
Yeah.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to show you a little bit of a demonstration that Lily and Fredia did, and you're going to see just how tough boxing and kickboxing are. So roll it, please.
Hands in shape, and they use the arms, and you get in shape, you get tougher, and you make you strong. And this is what it looks like. Hey, jab, jab, jab right across, jab right across, jab right across the tip. Hey, jab right across the tip. And you won't leave. Jab right across the tip. Come on, let's go. Give me a left after that. That's it. Hey, jab right across. To the body. Let's go. Let's go. Give me my left here. Go. And then right cross, left hip. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Get your timing going. Let's go. Nice move. Jab right across, left hip. Weave the tip. Let's go. Weave under, walk. Come. Weave under. Okay. Where's your left? Here. Let's go. Nice move, nice move. Let's go. Nice move. Go. Hey, right here. Jab, right across to the body. Up, and then up to the face. Double it up. Left hook after. Again, come on. Let's go. Okay. a kick shell, okay? That was boxing, is to get your shoulders and your conditioning with your hands, with the focus. This is a kick shell, okay? And this is what it looks like. Get your legs in shape and your timing. Let's go. Football kick. Okay, football kick. Okay, football kick, back roundhouse kick. Come on. Okay, right here. Again, let's go. Come on. Turn it in quick. Come on. Okay. Switch football kick. Switch football kick. Okay, again. Come on. Okay, back football kick. Okay, and then roundhouse. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. And the impact in this round, this kick, strong. Let's go. Okay, backside kick. Let's go. Little higher with the knee. Little higher with the knee. Okay. Front ball kick. Right cross left hook. Let's go. Right cross left hook. Go. Let's go. Weave left hook. Okay, and then the roundhouse kick. Last one. Let's go. Again. Let's go. Hey, swing back kick. Let's go. Hey, a little higher, a little higher. This is what a kick shell is. This kick shell gets your legs strong and it keeps to the target. Instead of her using me, she uses this bag because she has a lot of power. Okay, now we're going to put the shell, the hands, and the legs, we're going to put them together, and this is what it looks like, putting a combination together, it's working as one. Go. That's how you put it together in the fight scene. It was very light then, but when she trains, it's not light at all. And she uses a lot more power. Probably would have been on the ground already, but that's how you put your fight scenes together.
Welcome back to Let's Get Friendly. Have you seen yourself on camera before, Fredia?
Have I? Yeah.
As you were watching that whole segment, you were talking to Lilly. What were you talking about?
I was
mistakes.
Mistakes, and I always just tell.